to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Philandering Phil sounds like sex.
How about Dangerous D?
He smells like socks.
That's right, folks. You are listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show.
I'm Dangerous D.
I'm Philandering Phil. And together, despite university educations, we still can't come up with an opening link.
So just imagine we said something good. Alright, welcome back, and that was Beretta Suicide with a song called Another Wolf in the Wings, and they're playing at Carpe Diem on Wednesday the 29th of January, and there's quite a few bands playing there: Shock Hazard, Vulcan, Sweet Little Machine and Stiletto Farm. It doesn't say how much it is.
Oh, well, it's Carpe Diem, so I imagine it's going to be free.
Yeah.
I think we've only ever charged for one gig, and that was when we had something like Stiff Little Fingers come down.
Yeah, I've known them to charge a few times, but it was quite a while back.
Yeah, it's only when we got the sort of, the bigger sort of classic sort of bands in there. Not that these guys won't be big and classic at some point, but we've just got to wait a little while.
So what musical delights have we got on this
In
week.
fact, actually, while we're on the subject of this gig, we've got Shock Hazard who are playing along with Beretta Suicide. We'll hear them a bit later on, but they should be coming into the studio to do a session for us over the next, I think next Wednesday they're coming down.
Yeah.
So it won't be on the next show, but for one after, I think, and should be good.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Well, yeah, a couple of weeks from now.
Well, anyway, I'll talk a bit more about them later on. I think, today we've got a live session by the wonderful James Coley, who came down on Saturday, unlike some people. And, anyway, he did an interview, 4 really good songs, which we'll be hearing in a little bit. I won't ramble about it too much right now, though, because, we've got a whole interview where you can hear all about him.
Yeah, cool.
He's good. But anyway, on the subject of Saturday... where were you? You were supposed to be here in the studio while we recorded that session.
Sorry, who are you talking to?
Mr. Dangerous D, I do believe.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
The show that you were meant to come in and record part of.
What show?
Anyways, okay, I don't know everything. It went fine anyway, because last week we still had another half hour of the main show to record as well. So if you were listening last week, I don't think Dangerous D he has actually heard it himself yet. But we did have a great time along with Rick Diculous impersonating you. It was the only way to do it, really, without the real thing.
I can imagine, yeah.
You didn't say anything too embarrassing anyway, which was...
Well, I wasn't even there.
You were there in spirit, and that spirit was channeled through Ridiculous.
I can imagine... Well, no, I can't imagine anything worse.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I think we were relatively light on you. That's only because we didn't know what had happened, so we thought, well, okay, maybe if he's been mangled in an accident, we'll feel a bit bad if we're too harsh. But we're just, I'd say, adequately harsh. Adequately.
Well, talking about being mangled up in an accident, next up, we've got Crosscut Saw. Is that right?
Yes, Crosscut Saw. Crosscut... Crosscut Saw. Sorry, I've seen these guys live a few times. They are pretty good. I think we were on at the Grove Fest down in Leeds about a year ago. And then saw them again at the Hop a couple of months back. We've had them on the show before anyway. They are really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're doing a song called Snake Drive. They're playing at the Smokestack on Wednesday the 29th of January. It's free entry because it's another Brown Sugar promotion. We've had a lot on by those guys. And
they do quite a bit, yeah.
They're awesome. Anyway, have a listen, see what you think.
Enjoy.
Here we go.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he won't get me. The devil, well, he won't get me. won't get me.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil Show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Okay, welcome back. And that was Riot Jazz Brass Band with a track called Corn on the Cob. Sounded pretty good. It kind of reminded me of like a sort of Latin American, like Zorro, that kind of soundtrack type thing.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine sort of a horse with a masked man sort of tearing across the plains, trying to rescue somebody, that kind of a thing, and banditos chasing him.
Anyway, they're playing at the Wardrobe on Saturday the 1st of February, and along with Nubian Twist, who we'll have on later. We've had them on a few times. They're
they're really good anyway. Local band. You tend to see them at Wardrobe, often supporting, sometimes headlining. Definitely worth going down to see. But you'll hear them in a bit anyway, and make up your own mind.
And tickets are £12 for both of those bands.
Yeah. Oh, definitely worth £6 each. So
Yeah.
go down there.
So, Phil, I've noticed you've got a bit of mud on your coat. What happened?
Well, we had James Coley in the studio the other day. We're going to play a bit of the interview that we did with him in just a moment or so, and one of his songs. But anyway, I was rushing to make it, unlike some people. And anyway, I took a shortcut through Middleton Woods near the studio. Woods between my house and the studio. Trying to sort of scramble down a hill when I slipped and ended up sort of rolling down it. So anyway, I arrived 5 minutes after our guest musicians, or musician in this case.
That's not the first time
who sort of manages him and everything. And I was just absolutely covered in mud and walking around looking like Swamp Thing.
Did something similar happen the other week where you slipped and got covered in mud on the way to the studio?
I slip a lot.
On the way to the studio?
Well, just in general, really. Banana. I actually did once manage to do that. Walking through the market in the middle of Leeds. I didn't think it happened outside of cartoons, but I did actually slide on a banana peel.
Yeah, it wasn't the time that...
Went forward a few inches as well before I actually fell over, so it was the full sort of Tom and Jerry slide, which was brilliant.
It wasn't the time that we had the gorilla outfit, was it? And we stole a few bananas from Morrison's, do you remember that?
I remember that, yeah. No, it wasn't that time. It was just, I was there buying cheap DVDs off the market, and then... just that kind of classic Tom and Jerry moment, which kind of caught me off guard. I've never had such a big laugh in my life. I've done stand-up comedy and stuff before, and I tell all these jokes on the radio show every week. Yeah. I've never had a laugh like accidentally slipping on a banana peel and going on my ass.
Yeah, it's like the whole
really hurt as well.
You've been framed type thing. Yeah, people like to laugh at other people hurting themselves, falling over, as long as it's not too serious.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the whole falling over sort of thing doesn't really work on the radio. I don't know, maybe some sound effects or something. Just do a sort of random sort of skit or routine. It's like, hey, Dangerous D, what are you doing with that banana? Careful where you leave the peel. Maybe not.
Anyway, shall we listen to this interview?
Maybe. In fact, definitely not. Everyone forget I said that.
Shall we listen to this interview?
I reckon, let's hear a little bit of his interview with James Coley.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Okay, we're joined today by local musician James Coley. Anyway, rather than me going into a long and rambling explanation, we'll get him to do it instead.
Yeah, I'm James Coley. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from a little village called Carlton, which is in South Leeds. And I've been gigging solo as like an acoustic sort of singer guitarist for like the past 2 years, thereabouts, just under 2 years. And yeah, it's things are starting to look up now.
Okay, yeah, sounds really good. I understand you run the acoustic night at, which venue was it as well? Open mic anyway.
Well, there's a pub in Carlton called the Unicorn Inn. I run an open mic night there on the first Saturday of each month. Plug. And there's also a pub in Pudsey called the Bank House, which I run a kind of open mic night there called the Talent Lab every 4 weeks.
Okay. What night is that on?
The next one's on the Sunday the 26th of January, and then it's like every 4 weeks after that.
Okay, sounds really good. Okay, hopefully everybody listening will get down there and go and see some live music, which should be good. Anyway, I think what we'll do first of all, before we continue with my long and rambling interview, we'll hear one of your songs.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here we go.
My name's James Coley, and this song is called Better Than Before.
like the need to stay the same. But you gotta let things come and go, 'cause otherwise you'll never know that things could be made better. Oh yes, they could be better than before. Better than. Loosen your grip on things, I know you're sorry to see them go. They may tug on your heartstrings, but let it be so. The things could be made better, just allow me to explain. You could take things much calmer, but from that you refrain. And a strong will can be an enemy, and it can make others suffer, as you will see. But you can't just grin and bear and make him think that you don't care about things that could be better. Oh yes, they could be better than before. But loosen your grip on things, I know you're sorry to see them go. They may tug on your heartstrings, but let it be so. The things could be made better, just allow me to explain. You could take things much calmer, but from that you refrain. Yes, you. I know you're not a massive fan of change. It's the little things you like, the need to stay the same. But you've gotta let things come and go, 'cause otherwise you'll never know that things could be made better. Oh yes, they could be better than before. Better than before. On things, I know you're sorry to see them go. You may tug on your heartstrings, but let it be so. Things could be made better, just allow me to explain. You could take things much calmer, but from that you refrain. Yes, you refrain.
Okay, that was the very, very good James Coley with a song called Better Than Before. Anyway, we'll be hearing more from him over the next, remainder of the show, I suppose. Anyway, so, I'm not so certain about my interview technique there. I don't know, what do you reckon? I think I've just got this terrible habit of essentially saying to people, tell me about yourself.
Well, what do I think about your interview technique? Well, you tell me, what do you think about your interview technique?
I see what we're doing here. Well, I think it could stand some improvement and a bit of practice.
Could you elaborate on that a bit, please?
Okay, it could use a lot of improvement and a lot of... it's not as easy when you're on the other side of it, is it? But I think what we should try doing is maybe sort of practicing the interview technique during the rest of the show. Start with because we've got a whole sort of standard list of questions which we tend to ask people. First link always seems to be something along the lines of, just tell us about yourself a bit in general. But then, that's kind of name, rank and serial number, it's not too probing. Second question tends to be the one from page 1 of a big book of cliched interview questions, which is, who are your influences? But, it's, to be fair, quite a fair one to ask.
So who are your influences?
Okay. Now we're getting tricky. Who are my influences? As regards music or as regards radio stuff?
Or just in general, John Smith, maybe?
John Smith. He's a very big influence on me. As
Daniels.
is Mr. Jack Daniels. Joshua Tetley. Mr. Artois. He's done it. That little hobgoblin character. And another bloke we call Old Peculiar. He's been a massive influence. Sometimes it's even animals, like say an old speckled hen, for example. Or an old crafty hen, that's also been a great influence on my work.
So how long have you been interested in...
I wouldn't slurve and bumble my deliveries nearly so much if it wasn't for these fine people. In fact, today, I believe it's Mr. Artois, his 4% cousin.
So how long have you been following Mr. Artois?
Many, many years now. Sometimes his company can be a little bit pricey, but... thus I'm down to the company of Mr. Joshua Tetley and so on. But no, today, I believe I can get 8 visits from Mr. Artois for a £5 at the local shop. So
okay, that's enough about your influences. So what's your favourite colour?
My favourite colour is green. Do you want me to elaborate on that and give reasons, or?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't have any. I just kind of like it. That's all.
Okay, right, that'll do.
Okay, in fact, that's the other thing that seems to happen in these interviews. I'll ask these sort of serious questions, what was your best gig, your worst gig, influences, who people would recommend, that kind of stuff. You do seem to have questions along the lines of, what's your favourite colour? Who would win in a fight, Spider-Man or Batman, and other such things. Any suggestions for questions to come up on the following week's shows?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about the Spider-Man and Batman one. And, Batman's DC and Spider-Man's Marvel. Therefore, they're in 2 different universes. So it wouldn't really happen, would it?
I'm sure crossovers have been done before. I
definitely.
know Batman versus Superman, the film that's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Sometime later this year, I think. But it is actually been made.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be terrible.
It probably will be, but you never know. I'm guessing we're probably going to do something where Superman turns evil or something due to some, say, red kryptonite, like in was it Superman 3?
2, 3, yeah, 3.
Yeah, I think it was 3 where he turns evil for a bit.
Was it 3? Yeah, I think it might have been.
Yeah, I kind of like the bit at the when he's evil, he goes and sort of punches a hole in an oil tanker, starts it leaking, but then once he's back to normal again,
it back together.
They say he flies back over, somehow sucks the oil out of the water, blows it back into the oil tanker.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then seals it using his laser vision. I'm just thinking, is that a good idea around all this oil?
Yeah.
But you're not even allowed to smoke in petrol stations yet. Laser welding this leaking oil tanker is that wise? I don't know. It sets a great example for kids about oil and
because you never know when a kid's
when they're going to encounter a crippled oil tanker.
Yeah, you never know.
And try to fix it using their laser vision.
Yeah, whilst wearing spandex.
Yeah, in fact, that's the thing that's always bothered me about the new Superman movie, Man of Steel. He no longer has his pants on over his...
it's not right.
Yeah, over his trousers. It's not really Superman if he doesn't have those bright red pants. I really wanted to start a campaign a while ago where, in order to get the pants back in the films, people just wear a bright red pair of pants over their clothes. Yeah,
like office workers going to work with a bright red pair of pants... Police officers in the street wearing bright red pants.
Well, you could do it as like a charity thing for a month, It's like we've got Movember, where you grow a moustache for a month. Maybe have another month for some other kind of cancer or other disease or whatever, where everyone wears their underwear over their clothes. Even have like special sort of underwear for it, or comic stuff. I think we've got some Mr. Men boxes at home with Mr. Tickle on there, so...
All right, so next up we've got Thomas McConnell, is that right?
Yes, we do. So I'm just trying to think of a name for this month-long event.
Yeah, with a song called Penny Won't Help Me Now. And he's playing at a Porto on Monday the 3rd of February, along with the Moonbeams. Should be a good fun.
Okay.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll get on to him and see if he will join us in our month of pants over trousers. But first, let's just listen to his music.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
okay.
let's do that.
Let's do that.
Soon I'll reach the ground, but he won't help me now. Oh no. And I hope I turn around. 'Cause I'm falling out the window of my brother's private plane, and I'm driving so fast through the air, can hear the birds cry out my name. He gave a parachute to Sally, she could skydive in the Alps, in case she landed out of town. She's giving diamonds when she claps. Soon I'll reach the ground, but he won't help me now. Oh no. And I hope I turn around. I turn around. The ground, but he won't help me now. Oh no. And I hope I turn around. I turn around. I've got to think of something quick. My old shoes are coming near. A penny baker by the pool has never witnessed so much fear. There's a mattress by my roller, if I remember where it parts. A prison shone around the sky, and people thought you never die. Soon I'll reach the ground, but he won't help me now. Oh no. And I hope I turn around. I turn around.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Teeth too many times. I've had enough of your dirty kind. Well, sticks and stones may break my bones, but you're just another superficial clone. Come on. You want a dirty fight? You want a dirty fight? You want a dirty fight? We're not coming for you. Oh no. I'm seeing stars in your seam stripes. I've had enough of your tough delights. The bass drums pounding through my microphone, and I'm in a band and you shut it down. Alright.
Welcome back. And that was the awesome Shock Hazard with a song called Dirty Fight. And they're playing at Carpe Diem on Wednesday the 29th of January. There's quite a few bands playing. We've already mentioned
Beretta Suicide, who we opened the show with. Yeah, they were really good.
Vulcan, Sweet Little Machine and Stiletto Farm. We've got these guys on next week, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right. I think we're coming in to record next Wednesday. Should be interesting. I'm not sure. I think it's a whole band that's coming down as well.
Yeah,
so
how did you meet them? How did it come about?
Basically, when I was researching the music for this week's show, I found a video of these guys on YouTube where they had a kind of, let's say, raucous gig over at, Bar Red in Leeds.
Yeah.
I've been there plenty of times. Opens quite late, doesn't it? So it's generally the last thing that's open. But anyway, I think it was some bouncer or something that had told him off for sort of swinging his mic about. So I think being a bit drunk and the rest of it and having a bit of a laugh, they just started doing it more. But, at the end of the day, it is a lively kind of rock and roll sort of show that they do. It's kind of what you expect with it. We're all there sort of playing with the shirts off, throwing things about, and it's kind of that whole sort of, the classic sort of rock sort of thing, isn't it?
Well, they've got the sound as well.
If you don't want that kind of a thing, they do it in all the videos, they do it at every single gig. If you don't like that, don't book them. It's just...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But anyway, they ended up with these bouncers sort of unplugging the amps and the rest of it, and essentially just throwing them out of the place. Which I thought was quite funny, having been thrown out of there myself on... more than one occasion, I suppose.
I think we've been there,
although I suppose in my case it wasn't for swinging things around and general sort of rock and roll riotry. In my case it was more sort of falling asleep and smuggling in my own cans.
No comment on my part. Anyway, so they're in next week and they should be on the show the following week.
That's right, and we've got another band who I've yet to confirm who should be on, next week's show, but again, I'll not make an announcement yet until I've got things confirmed.
Right, so, interview technique's going to have to get a bit better, I think.
I'm going to have to work on that. Like I say, during the duration of this show, we'll go through all our standard interview questions and, see if we can improve. It's kind of, boot camp for interviews this week.
So, I've got a question for you.
Okay, let's hear your question.
Right. There's a person, you, say for instance...
Okay, so it's me.
Yeah. And you put inside a room that has no windows, no doors. It has a ceiling. It has a floor. There's no rooms or windows. They brick it up afterwards.
Okay, so it's a completely sealed room.
Yeah, and all there is a table, a wooden table, and a saw. How do you escape?
I would say you saw the table in half and then you put the two halves together to make a hole.
I've told you this one before.
You've told me this one about 5 times, I think.
You finally remembered.
I think generally we've had a few when we get to that point of telling the joke and the riddle as it is. And then completely forget that we already told each other it. But then it's fine because normally the other one's forgotten the answer to it anyway.
But you remembered.
I think we've even used it on the show once before when we were talking. I can't remember why we used it, but we did use it at some point.
Well, there you go. Now you know.
Anyway, on the subject of interview techniques, let's hear a little bit more of the interview that I did the other day with James Coley. Yeah. Okay, it's coming up around about now. Or is it? No, it isn't. It should be coming up around about now.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Okay, we're back again with James Coley, and more questions. Okay, the first question being, who would you say are your main influences in your music?
There's a few. At the moment, I'm really into kind of modern indie sort of stuff, so like the Arctic Monkeys. Started listening to a bit of Oasis recently, but then there's hard rock bands like AC/DC, and then kind of the Beatles later sort of 60s stuff. So like I'm a massive fan of the Sgt. Pepper album and
Sgt. Pepper,
like that,
White
yeah.
Album, sort of.
Yeah, the later stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not so much the poppier sort of early.
I do like that. It's just kind of.
I think maybe I heard it a few too many times. It's been around for forever basically.
Yeah, but there's the 60s stuff and 70s as well.
Okay, yeah, sounds really good. I can certainly hear quite a lot of that in your own style, which is great. Obviously, I'm hoping everyone enjoyed the last song that we played.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And anyway, if they did, which I'm assuming they did because it was brilliant, where can they listen to it? Do you have an album or any recordings available at the moment?
I don't have any CDs at the moment, which I really should actually get some done. But I've got a SoundCloud account, which is James Coley Music, and I've got a lot of videos. Like the majority of them are quite old, but there's still videos on my YouTube channel, which is James Coley 1.
In fact, bizarrely enough, when I've been researching things for this show, almost everything I search for some reason, I get the cover of Everlong comes up.
Oh yeah, it's I did that a while back. It's because that one got played on like BBC Introducing, and it's, I guess that because of that it's got more views or whatever. But there's a few more things on there that sound all right.
Okay, brilliant. And BBC Introducing is obviously a good gig to have. But what would you say so far has been your best gig?
Best gig. We in our village we'd run a kind of a annual community get together festival thing called Rhubarb Fest, which this year it's on Sunday the 25th of May in Carlton Village.
Yeah, I tried to go down to last year's, but I think it clashed with a friend's wedding, so I couldn't really blow it off to go see some bands.
But no, that's that we've done that for 3 years now, and that's always been a good giggle. Last year I think there was over 1,000 people that were there, like in total, so that was good. I played the Cockpit at the end of October, which it was the crowd was only like 125 people, something like that, but it was still a good gig.
If you're in room 3 upstairs, that silo looking room that they've got, then it's always pretty good in there. It's a good sound, and
it doesn't take many people to make it look full either. Yeah,
exactly. It always seems round, even when it's quite a quiet gig.
But
I love that. It's kind of like playing in an old air raid shelter. I love that. Okay, anyway, and that was your best gig. What was your worst gig?
Worst gig?
It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
It could be for any reason, technical problems or just random sort of crowd members knocking things over, that kind of stuff.
Well, there's been a couple, like, when you go to, like, corporate events are some of them, because but some corporate events you go to and you play there, and they're not too bad because there's still people paying attention. But the majority of the time, people just want to go get drunk and just
people are sort of talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And, so it's like there's no point in you being there. Pretty much.
You find yourself sort of playing to a room of sort of people just chatting amongst themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Really paying attention to it. I've seen a couple of open mic sort of things recently where it's clashed with the football. So
right, yeah,
you end up with some poor guy just there playing his heart out on the stage, and everybody's looking up at this TV screen in the other direction. But no worries. I've had a few sort of nightmare gig stories. I think one where the venue was flooded, but they still sort of played anyway, and nearly getting electrocuted, just sort of almost a Spinal Tap sort of thing. Anyway, before I start rambling on and telling all the stories of a terrible past, let's hear another song.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, brilliant.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Philandering Phil sounds like sex.
How about Dangerous D?
He smells like socks.
I'm James Coley, and this song's called The One They Used to Know.
Got a rush of blood pumping through her veins. She won't hold a grudge, but she still remains with her eyes fixated on a guy she used to know. She goes to the bar and pulls out her purse, so she's overdue in missing conspicuous, but she still got her eyes locked on him. And there's a jealous stare over the shoulder of a passerby, but she can't help but succumb to emotion, like she's ingested a potion that turns mended hearts broken, with her eyes fixated on this guy she used to know. Recognizes a familiar face. Is he staring directly at a look-alike, or is that not the case? But he can't help but succumb to emotion, like he's ingested a potion that turns mended hearts broken, with his eyes fixated on this girl he used to know. How can the feelings be so eclectic at a party on a Wednesday night, staring in the eyes of each other with all their other features out of sight? But they can't help but succumb to emotion, like they've ingested a potion that turns mended hearts broken, with their eyes fixated on the one they used to know. But they can't help but succumb to emotion, like they've ingested a potion that turns mended hearts broken, with their eyes fixated on the one they used to know.
Hey, excellent stuff. Right, what have we got up next, Phil?
Next up, we've got, let me see, who have we got up next? We've got Whales in Cubicles, the band, not actual whales in cubicles.
Right.
That's Wales as in the animal, not the country.
Right.
But anyway, Whales in Cubicle with a song called Nowhere Flag. They're playing at Nation of Shopkeepers, which, if you don't know it, it's just opposite Millennium Square in Leeds. Round the corner from Carpe Diem, where we're in, well, another good venue there. Go to both, for good. Anyway, okay, so Whales in Cubicle singing Nowhere Flag at Nation of Shopkeepers, and that's on Thursday, the 30th of January. And annoyingly, I've got the creaky chair back in the studio. While we're recording these James Coley sessions, I didn't realise that I had the creakiest chair in the whole of the radio station while we were doing it. So I've got him trying to sort of give me a signal, sort of checking everything's okay, but if I moved even slightly, the chair would just sort of go... And there was one point in there, because I was still waiting for you to turn up, and I realised, wait a minute, I've left my phone on. So I'm there thinking, wait a minute, if Dangerous D phone's back now, while I'm in the middle of recording this, it's not going to be great. So I'm there very sort of carefully trying to reach into my pocket, which is still covered in mud, without making the chair sort of creak and scream at me. While he's playing his set and I'm watching the levels, just sort of pull it out and turn it off before it started ringing. So I knew I'd probably wait until the final chords of the song. Never will this sort of thing happen right at the start of a track where it's like, oh, no worries, yeah, we'll just do another take. Play a sort of 4-minute song and then that final 30 seconds. No, okay, start again. Sorry, I left my phone on. Fortunately, it didn't happen anyway. So all good. But anyway, before I ramble too much, here's some Wales in Cubicles. Enjoy.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil Show on South Leeds Community Radio.
I
Okay, welcome back, and that was Second Hand Wings with a song called Mountain City, and they're playing at 7 in Chapel Allerton, and it's Friday the 31st of January when they're playing, and tickets are £5.95. Another unusual amount, isn't it? Why don't they just make it £6?
I think often it's because you've got to add certain amounts for
bands
say,
and everything else, and
person involved or something. Maybe some guy coming down to do sound or something like that, or lighting. Or
I guess they think £5.95 sounds cheaper than £6.
Well, there's also that. Yeah, it's a classic thing, isn't it? Oh no, it's not £800. It's £799.
Yeah, exactly.
99 pence.
Yeah, it's £100 cheaper. Yeah. The name of that song was Mountain City, and a few years ago, about 10 years ago now, I was travelling through the Rajasthan desert, as you do.
As you do.
Yeah, it took a few days to travel through, beautiful scenery, and I went to quite a few interesting places. But I was actually travelling to a place called, Mount Abu, which is this mountain.
I guessed it was a mountain.
Good guess. Yeah, got to this mountain, going up these winding roads, there's like the foothills, and there's no barriers on the side, and there's vehicles coming down, and
massive trucks coming down this sort of single lane crumbling road with a huge precipice at the side.
Yeah, but it was fine because there was like a picture of Shiva on the dashboard, so it's like
you're safe. Nothing can happen to you if you've got that. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Shiva the Destroyer is perhaps the best thing to have on there.
Yeah, damn right. So yeah, we're going up these foothills, and we get to the top of Mount Abu, and there's like a kind of town at the top of it. There's a lake, and then around the lake there's a town. A beautiful place.
Lake at the top of a mountain.
Yeah, it's
unusual enough to begin with. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably a volcano at one point, and it might have been a volcano, and then obviously got filled in with water.
Since dormant, and now it's rained in it. And makes sense.
That's my theory anyway. But so they've got this lake, and they've got this town around it. And it was very picturesque, really nice. But off to the side of the town, like a couple of miles away at the top of this mountain, there's this like cult up there. I was actually on my way up to see this cult. I didn't realise they were a cult. It was the world's biggest solar-powered kitchen that they had. And
because you were there for the solar-powered kitchen.
Yeah.
And completely forgot about the cult.
Well, I got there. The cult actually owned it. They built it. So I got there, and there's this massive complex, gates and stuff, and someone comes out to greet us, and it looked like one of those kind of places where you just park up outside. There was no one about at all. It's like a big complex. It's like, hang on, why haven't they got a security guard? Suddenly someone appears, like they almost knew you were going to be there or something, and he was dressed.
We've been expecting you.
Yeah, that kind of thing, and dressed in white. Everyone was dressed in like white robes. There were lots of people. They were from Westerners there. Everyone just dressed in white.
Yeah, a few gap year kids that have stayed on and sort of joined the cult. And
yeah, so I told him, I wouldn't mind seeing this solar-powered kitchen. It's why I've come along and stuff. It was quite an impressive thing. They could cook 40,000 meals a day using the power of the sun, so it's pretty impressive.
Quite impressive, yeah. I suppose obviously at the top of a mountain you're going to get a lot of sun anyway. So
well, I mean, it'd work anywhere where you'd have direct amount of power per square metre, so long as you've got direct sunlight.
Well, obviously, makes sense.
But anyway, so I explained that I'm there to see this like solar powered kitchen, and they're like, we can show you that. But we just want we're going to have to get someone to talk to you about it and stuff. So I had to wait in this area where other people came along and started chatting, and it kind of felt a bit like they'd planned to do it this particular way, where they were, why don't you come along and have a look at these pictures and go on the tour of the museum?
Were you indoctrinated while you were there?
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do, so I had to walk down.
I really only want to see your kitchen.
Yeah, so they take me down this like corridor, and it's quite a wide corridor, like about 15 foot wide and really long, and there's pictures all the way down, like 8 foot tall, all the way down this picture, lots of different pictures which told the story of how the world and the universe was created. And seriously, a 4-year-old could have come up with a more plausible story.
I wonder if any of these guys are listening.
Yeah, I hope so. And so I went along this corridor and...
Okay, so was it more plausible or less plausible than Scientology?
That's a tough one. Yeah. Anyway, at the end of
Tom Cruise, if you're listening, we are mocking you, yes. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
We shouldn't do that, though.
Well, I mean, if he heard about this particular cult...
He might join.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he'd give up Scientology and, join these people instead. But yeah, so, I got to the end of this corridor and then they showed me a picture of the guy who started the religion, who was apparently the living God, but he's now dead. I don't know how that works. I suppose a lot of religions...
Well, like the undead God or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No longer living God. Well, I suppose it's like the Rastafarians believe that Haile Selassie was God, incarnated.
Yeah, lots of religions have had that sort of idea.
I suppose, they're still around even now that he's obviously long dead. When did he die? About 1980, 1981, something like that? No?
Yeah, well, something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? Where, obviously people believe that someone was a living God, something like that. And they had a picture of this guy, photograph, and there was like a light shining out of his forehead on the photograph. And they kind of believe that this guy was... Yeah,
I'd just love it if he turned out that he had, like, say, a thick Birmingham accent or something. That'd be great. I'm a living God.
Anyway, so I got to see this solar-powered kitchen, and really interested in checking it out, looking at the facilities. It was pretty amazing, what they've managed to build there. And then at the end of the tour, after I'd seen all that, they were like doing the whole hard sales type thing. Yeah. Why don't you stay?
Why don't you join us for some food and you can. We're going to sing some songs in a bit. And,
I was with my mum, and we were like, we're a bit tired, we need to get off. And it's like, oh, well, you could stay here and relax, and there's somewhere to sleep. And we're like, well, but I tell you what, we'll come back, but we just need to sort a few things out first.
We left my kid at home, and...
that kind of thing.
Need to get home and feed him.
Yeah, you can imagine we set off rather quickly, dust in the rearview mirror type thing, straight off, and didn't go back.
So you've not been indoctrinated then, and
now where's my white robe?
I was wondering why you had those knocking about. I thought I heard some chanting coming from the back of your van.
Yeah, so have you got any stories?
Just while we're on about mountains, I've not been to anything quite so impressive as that. Well, I suppose it is quite impressive. Went to Mount Olympus a while ago. When we were on holiday in the area with a family, me and some other kids. I was only about 16 at the time, but was old enough to hire scooters. So three of us, me and two other 16-year-old lads, hired scooters, rode very slowly up Mount Olympus along this road. I mean, these things, they only had, like, say, sort of hairdryer, sort of strange engines.
50cc, small scooter.
Very long and slow sort of ride up this mountain.
Two of you on each one?
No, fortunately, we had one each. We did pick up another guy who was walking up, so one of the guys had two guys kind of wobbling along. On the way up there as well, was this old woman sort of sat by the side of the road with, like, a little trestle table, and on that were these lemonade bottles. Like the plastic sort of lemonade 2-litre bottles that you get. Thirsty, so we're thinking, is that water that you're selling? So, it turned out it was a kind of local moonshine that they make.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, it was dirt cheap, so we thought, okay, yeah, brilliant, we'll have some of that. Completely forgetting about the strength of it. We're doing, basically taking the caps off the bottles and doing shots like that. By the time we'd had a few of those, I was wobbling around, falling off the bikes every sort of few minutes, and every corner somebody would go down, or every time another bit of traffic came along.
Yeah, great advert for it.
Anyway, it gets into the evening. I don't recommend that you drink and drive, not even on a hairdryer powered scooter. We're completely against that. I was 16, I was young and dumb. Anyway. Whereas now I'm sort of old and not much smarter, but I wouldn't do that.
No.
Anyways, okay, so we get to the top of Mount Olympus, and we're expecting, say, temple or statues or something quite impressive, ancient relics essentially. But have a guess at what's up there.
A Greek god, some kind of mythical beast.
No, it turns out
Ice cream van.
that it's giant golf balls. Like they have at Fylingdales.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yeah, you can't actually get to the very summit of it because
Right,
the golf balls are there. But it's basically
listening post.
British spy base. Use it to sort of monitor most of the Middle East, with it being, on Cyprus. I think that individual bit, the top of Mount Olympus is still sort of, sovereign British territory. And weren't allowed on it, but, you could sort of go close to the top, and it was like a little observation bit. But I was quite surprised that that's what was up there. A massive spy base, which is used to monitor, say, most of the Middle East. Just intercepting radio and phone communications.
Right, yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Anyways, I think we've probably rambled on too long, haven't we? So we might as well introduce the next band, once I've remembered who it is. Okay. Next up we've got Filthy Boy. That's the name of the band, or the boy in this case, with a song called Naughty Corner. They're playing at the Cockpit in Room 3 on Friday the 31st of January. And I don't have the information on prices with me, but I can't imagine it'll be too much. Just go. It'll be fun. And they sound a bit like this. Like this, even.
Very obediently reading at my desk, but she'd already seen me peeping at my little feet. Immediately stopped swinging and she turns. Slowly she approaches with a ruler and says, "This is most inappropriate in here. So behave and be a big boy, or you'll have to come and stay here with me." That's right, and we wouldn't want that now. Door and have a seat. Recently you've been extremely out of order. Right now you really seem to be increasingly much naughtier than normal. Lights out, I don't want to hear a peep. Turn around and face the wall, and that's an order. That's right, and we'll throw away the key, and you'll spend your whole life in the naughty corner. Folding her fingers as she stretches out her fist into a rubber glove that snaps against her wrist. As I look up at her collapsing to my knees, she quietly insists that there's no need for me to be like this. It'll all be over shortly. So behave and be a big boy, and the lollipop awaits just for you. Lie down, don't try to resist me. Lights out, I don't want to hear a peep. Turn around and face the wall, and that's an order. That's right, and we'll throw away the key, and you'll spend your whole life in the naughty corner. Don't you scowl, you're old enough to know just how young you are by now. Don't you scowl, you're old enough to know just how young you are by now. Don't you scowl, you're old enough to know just how young you are by now.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Sometimes my eyes hurt when I look backward, losing my nerve. She said she got her. I know the depth, losing my nerve. Here we go now. Still go somehow. I know she's got her. I'll never bother losing my girl. Sometimes I saw her. I never got close. Losing my world. Here we go now. Still go somehow. Here we go now. Still go somehow.
All right, welcome back. And that was Forever Cult with a song called Sinking.
Yeah, it sounded really good anyway.
Yeah, and they're playing at the library on Friday the 31st of January, along with All of On Drugs, who we've had on a few times, Perfect Crimes and Fizzler. Tickets are £5.50, so it's quite a bargain for 4 bands.
You know what? If I'd actually planned this show better, and if I'd known we were going to talk about the Mountaintop Cult today, I probably would have put that bit in round about here, having just played Forever Cult.
Well,
But
we got it in between the mountain thing and the cult thing. That kind of worked.
yeah, I know. Completely accidental in this case. In fact, you know what? I've got to start pretending that these happy coincidences are deliberate and really well organised.
Yeah. I thought it was.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Well, of course, I was just winding you up. It was all planned.
Yeah,
It's exactly.
We spend a whole year planning each show.
Yeah, before the gigs are even announced, we know.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, moving swiftly onwards before we start rambling and claiming various things and
Maybe like being the living God.
Claiming myself to be the living God.
Well, you'll have to stand in line.
I mean, hey, I am Lord, remember? I do have, through the thing where we bought the square foot of land at this castle, I am legally entitled to use the title Lord.
Well, you can
I never said what kind of Lord I was, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could do my work for me, yeah, that'll work.
All I need now is a big portrait of me with sort of light shining from my temple and the masses sort of huddled at my divine and generous hands.
Yeah.
Could
so
work.
How do people worship you? Do they give you beer or money? Or
Well, yes, a small tribute of a pint is generally the right thing to bring.
Well,
but if you can't manage that, I'm happy with a bag of peanuts or just share your chips. If you're having chips, just share them.
Well, you heard that, listeners. Send in your beer or your peanuts or your chips to the radio show to Lord Philandering Phil.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
The living God.
Build a shrine. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shrines are pretty simple. You can just use a photo and just bow to it a bit. Yeah.
Lots of different coloured pint glasses made out into a kind of mosaic of...
Or maybe build a kind of a life-size sculpture using beer cans.
Yeah, that could work.
That could work, yeah. We'll work out the details of my new village in a little bit anyway, after we've listened to the next part of the interview with James Coley.
Yeah.
I think we should probably do that now, because otherwise I'm going to get us into trouble, probably with this cult. We're going to end up with a bunch of white-robed men at the door, and I think I've already wound up Scientologists, and they're quite likely to sue, so if the station goes bankrupt in the next week, I'm sorry about that.
Right.
No
let's
worries.
move on, eh?
Yes, let's play the James Coley interview. This is, part 3.
Before we go into hiding, let's play this.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Okay, we're back again with James Coley. And another question, this case, where are your next gigs? Where can people go see you? And, where are you playing?
Well, my next show is on Saturday the 25th of January at a pub called the Shoulder and Mutton, which is in, the Halifax area, so it's not exactly, local.
I've been. It's a nice pub.
Right, fair enough. But the two major ones that I'm looking forward to this year are I'm supporting a Leeds band called City of Lights. Have you heard of the Dunwells before?
Who, sorry?
The Dunwells.
Oh, the Dunwells. Yeah, we've played them on the show once or twice before.
All right,
really good band.
But it's their younger brother is the frontman of a Leeds band called City of Lights, and I'm supporting them at the Cockpit in the main room on the 15th of March. It's their second album launch. Tickets are £5 for that. So,
yes, pretty good.
Plug.
£5, and it's definitely worth it. Everyone,
definitely.
Go down to the Cockpit. And when did you say that was?
Saturday the 15th of March.
Okay, Saturday 15th of March, £5, Cockpit, main room. Everybody go.
Yeah.
Just drop what you're doing. Go. If you're listening to this on the 15th of March, just run.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that show, which is obviously a massive opportunity for me, and I'm really excited about it. And then there's the festival that we have in our village called the Rhubarb Fest. That's on Sunday, the 25th of May. Obviously, I'll be playing there, and we've also confirmed another Leeds band called Trees and Kings, who are absolutely phenomenal.
We love Trees and Kings. I think we opened the show with them a few weeks ago. We've had them on once or twice before that as well. But yeah, really, really good local band. So
anyone who can who wants to see them live, there's obviously dates on their website and everything, and I would highly recommend that you do go and see them.
Yes,
fantastic.
Yeah, I concur. Go see them, and of course, you as well. Anyone else confirmed for the Rhubarb Fest this year?
There's bits and bats like kind of getting sorted out, but that it's just us two that are confirmed so far. But there'll be more details following soon.
And it's a free entry via Rhubarb Fest as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like a village event held in Carlton Village.
But still, can't go wrong with that. Free entries, really good bands. Everybody go to Rhubarb Fest.
Yeah,
I wanted to go last year, but it just clashed with a wedding, and it would have been quite awkward to sort of make up some horror story maybe. And then, I would go, but the cat got hit by a car, and anyway, I couldn't make it. Then, obviously,
weeks worth of mourning.
You can't really make these things up anymore though, because of things like Facebook. Someone will take a photo of you, it'll be tagged, and then wait a minute, I thought you were burying your cat. You look like you were sort of headbanging in the crowd. That was a different day. There's a big sign in the background that says. But anyway, okay, so what was the date of that again?
Sunday the 25th of May.
Okay, 25th of May. Right, sounds good. So we've got those 2 events there.
Yep.
Everyone, go down to both of them. We know where you live. Okay, go. Anyway, before I threaten the audience anymore, I think we should probably play another song, and all good.
Sounds good.
Okay, nice one.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
I'm James Coley, and this tune's called While You're in the Air.
Don't know what you're thinking when you're going through this phase. Reality on hold, and your mind's a dead weight. Your mind is nowhere near where you are, and it's almost like it's in a Shangri-La. But let me tell you one thing, I need to tell you something. I wish I was with you while you were in the air. You walked into the devil's lair, and you took him by the hand and asked if he'd understand that his influence is something you should reprimand. And you're chasing all your dreams without a cause, and it's just like you're stuck in the moment on pause. You're wearing your heart on your sleeve, and I really don't know what you hope to achieve. But let me tell you something, I need to tell you one thing. I wish I was with you while you were in the air. You walked into the devil's lair. You took him by the hand and asked if he'd understand that his influence is something you should reprimand. While you were in the air, you walked into the devil's lair. You took him by the hand and asked if he'd understand that his influence is something you should reprimand.
Excellent stuff. Yeah. Back to the interview questions. What?
Well, you heard my interviewing skills there with James Coley, who he took it rather well. My poor interview technique, which, we shall develop by just asking each other our standard interview questions. For example, we've gone through my influences, Mr. Joshua Tetley and so on. But sir, who are your influences?
Right, this is a tough one. I guess my influences. I think you've covered most of them. You know, I mean, I've mentioned
Mr. Artois, that little hobgoblin character, and this old peculiar guy.
Have we mentioned Tisky? You know,
Tisky. That's quite a good one. It's a fine influence.
Yeah,
Zuber.
Yeah, Zuber. And there's all the other
the
East
Polish or
European,
East European sort of ales, which are becoming more readily available these days.
Yeah. So,
Are there any other influences?
well, not one.
Who are your idols?
Idols? I think we mentioned them. The mountain and all that. I think we've already gone through all that. Yeah.
Okay. Who inspired you to get into what you do?
Right. I don't know. I just kind of accidentally stumbled into it.
I see. So no direct inspirations there? Or?
I wouldn't even know how to spell inspiration.
If you had a time machine, who would you go back and meet?
I would go back and meet my parents and ask them why.
That would be an interesting one.
Yeah, just for kicks.
Ask them why, when, before you were born, or?
Yeah, that could be tricky actually, couldn't it? I'd go back and see your parents just after you conceived and ask them why.
Do you realise you could stop it happening altogether? You went back just a few minutes before, but you've got to go back to a few minutes after and then ask them why. But at this point, we don't realise what we've done, do we?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But it takes a few years for them to realise, yeah.
I've just got this terrible mental image right now of my mum and dad aged about, 29 or something like that. They've just finished when there was a flash of light. And... yeah, you time travelled back. My dad stubs out his cigarette. She's having.
It's like, oh no, I'm too late. I should have
said. It was 5 minutes earlier.
The future depends on it.
Well, anyone got a coat hanger?
Nah, let's not go.
Okay, getting a bit dark now. Mum, I hope you're not listening to this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So, what was your best gig ever?
Okay, all right, yes. This is one of our standard interview questions, isn't it? The best gig, worst gig. I suppose with a gig guide it makes sense. My best gig would probably be, it's not so much a gig, it's a band scene at a festival, I suppose. Probably the Flaming Lips at Glastonbury 2003. I just remember I'd gone up to more or less the front of the crowd, right by the fences. That was when it was still relatively quiet. Then, as it got busier with the bands getting bigger and bigger, I got kind of penned in there for hours. So it was something like Flaming Lips, Supergrass, Manic Street Preachers. Then I can't remember who was headlining that night. I think was it Radiohead or was it R.E.M.? It was one or the other anyway.
Happy music.
Shiny happy people, man. But we're both on that year anyway. I'm just forgetting the order. But Flaming Lips were brilliant live, especially having had various things which would enhance the experience. They had this sort of thing where they'd have these kind of costumed characters on the stage, sort of shining lights out and so on, and the singers sort of riding around over the top of the crowd.
Was they really there?
I hope so. Otherwise, my memory has a lot to answer for.
I mean, the interesting stuff you took.
Those cough drops.
Yeah, quite strong cough drops.
Yeah. But anyway, the singers sort of running around over the crowd in this sort of giant hamster ball. The whole lot. The only problem was because being locked in at the front of the crowd was no way out. It was me and a few others where we were just taking it in turns to piss in this big bottle, which was being passed around the crowd.
Yeah, I dread to think where that bottle was emptied.
And when I say big bottle, it was like a sort of a 2-gallon sort of water container or something, which I think somebody realised that nobody could get out from the crowd through near the front. So it had just been passed around, and the only way, because you couldn't pass it person to person, it was just too tightly round. So you'd have to pick it up over your head after you're done with it.
Bit splashing about.
Pass it over, and occasionally you'd have to do it in quiet bits of songs or between songs, that kind of stuff. Because if it got to, say, a loud bit in something, then people start jumping around. It was kind of like pass the parcel, but you don't want the parcel when a song kicks in. But okay, right, it's on a quiet little acoustic-y chorus. Everyone's sort of just gently swaying. Brilliant, right? Okay, go, piss as quickly as you can, because it's going to kick in a second. I do not want this bottle then. But the thing is, if people knew that was a song was building to a big jump around bit, then they wouldn't take the bottle. So you better try it over. But no, I don't want it. Pass it the other way. Just have to. But then there'd be somebody who was desperate for a piss a few sort of bits away from you. It's like, I need that bottle, but nobody wanted to pass it to him. And yeah, that was quite entertaining. I think finally at the end of that night, I sort of stumbled off to a cinema field. Just didn't have a tent that year.
Like most years.
Yeah, like most years, bizarrely enough. Yeah, in this case, there were two of us trying to sneak into the place. I made it in. He didn't. He had the tent, so... yeah, I was basically just sleeping under the stars in the cinema field, but fortunately it was...
dry.
Yeah, it was actually a dry year, that one. I came back with sunburn. I didn't have any sun cream or anything like that, so by the time I got back, my face had sort of turned into this kind of scarred beetroot sort of thing, which was great. I suppose worst gig... In fact, it was the story I was telling James Coley the other day. Not... worst thing that could happen, but about 2004 I was organising a gig up at Royal Park Cellars. We put a couple of bands on over there, and yeah, anyway, I'd done all this promotion, sort of gone out in costume and that kind of stuff, handing out flyers, putting up posters, the whole lot. Arrived there on the day, after a lot of hassle, because I was filming it for part of a university project, I was in my final year of uni, so I thought, well, yeah, I'll film this, and yeah, it should be good. And anyway, yeah, I got to the university, and they wouldn't let me have the cameras, because the guy who'd signed for all the equipment that I'd booked was just a part-time lecturer, not full-time. So I kind of had to beg with them and plead with them and so on to give me the equipment and all this kind of stuff, cameras and sound gear. And eventually, I had to fake the signature of the head of the course. I'd gone up to his office. He'd just gone. I saw him sort of pulling out the car park from the window. Fortunately, the office was still open, and he had a bunch of other stuff on his desk, which he'd signed before. So I kind of traced the signature onto my equipment application and took it down there. We're a bit sceptical, because it didn't look convincing at all.
I've seen your writing.
But anyway, yeah, they gave me the kit until, which went that, I got it there, and yeah, that was okay. And then when I got to the gig, were loads and loads of people upstairs at the pub, and I thought, wow, brilliant, okay, this promotion's really worked, flyers must have got around, fantastic. First band starts to play, it's all going really well, plenty of people in the room, and one of the guys was the guitarist from Franz Ferdinand. He was, one of the crowd anyway, turned up. So I thought, yeah, fantastic, yeah, even the guy at Franz Ferdinand, he's turned up. We're still pretty new at that point, it was getting big. And anyway, it turns out he was there because he was playing his own gig, I think, at the Brusenell, just round the corner.
Right.
So
as soon as they went...
Yeah, we're about 2 songs into the first set. He goes, and our entire audience goes with him.
Right.
So suddenly it's just the bands playing to each other. Me there with the camera, and sort of camera crew, the rest of it, trying to film the thing and make it look busy. But there's nobody there. Just the bands playing to themselves.
Bad timing, eh?
Yeah, just because we just didn't realise that this guy was playing round the corner, and everybody went with him. I think he'd offered to let everybody in for free or something like that because he was having a good time, and yeah, so that didn't go down too well. And then it got even worse the next morning when a guy whose signature I faked to get the equipment, he turned up at the uni, and the equipment guy has a word with him. It's like, yeah, did you really sign out all that equipment? It's not like, sign what? I didn't sign anything. So I get this call from him saying, if your kit's not there in, the next 10, 20 minutes or something, that we're going to call the police and I'll be arrested and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, I couldn't carry it all down on the bus from my house. So, yeah, they're trying to phone a taxi. But because the bands didn't make that much from, people coming to the gig. I'd given them, what money I had left, just to sort of cover their expenses and petrol. So we had no money, so I have to sort of bang on the neighbour's door, ask to borrow money from them. They're scraping through his copper jar, and then, finally getting a taxi, sort of pay the guy, more or less using entirely copper. Get into the equipment section of the unit, return this equipment, only to realise that there's a lens cap missing off the camera, which they want to charge me for. So then I run up to the Royal Park, find the lens eventually, the lens cap. It was terrible. But then when I got to the venue, it got even worse still. It turns out that one of the bands nicked the drum mics for the venue. The venue have their own drum mics, and one of the guys in the band nicked drum mics from them. It's like, we've got his contact details. Okay, we know it wasn't you who did it personally, but you have one who signed off on the venue, so we're holding you liable. And so I had to get onto this band, and I think eventually we got it all sorted out. But that's probably definitely my worst gig.
Fun times, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, enchanting. But anyway, I think what we should probably do now is move on to the next song. Who have we got up next?
We're running short on time, aren't we? Right, so who have we got up next?
Okay, next up we have me searching for my notes, and we have a band called Dancing Years, and they are playing
The Nation of Shopkeepers with a song called Places We've Roamed, along with Hey Cholet, which cholet I think is an Indian word, which means chickpeas. And
hey chickpeas.
Yeah, hey chickpeas. So they're playing with Hey Cholet, Matthew and the Atlas and Embers. So that's Nation of Shopkeepers on Wednesday the 29th of January. And this is Dancing Years with Places We've Roamed.
Okay. Enjoy it, folks.
Yeah, do that.
Remember the weekend, the lakes in the autumn, the roads were deserted, and the night was so peaceful, and we felt like explorers with those headlights before us, and we crept through the old town. Rain was the only sound. The places we've run, the hours sad in silence were the best that I know. The world moved around us, the places we've run, the hours sad in silence were the best that I know. And the world moved around us. If I gave myself totally, we could start a home on our own. If I fell on one knee and openly I asked you to share with me everything. Oh, no. Remember the and attended. And I told you I loved you, and we felt like explorers with our whole lives before us, and we crept through the old town. Rain was the only sound, the places we broke the hours. Sad in silence were the best that I know. The world that moved around us, the places we broke the hours. Sad in silence were the best that I know. And the world that moved around us, if I gave myself to thee, we could start a home on our own. If I fell on one knee and openly asked you to share with me everything. Thank you.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Murder, we kill it with the sweetest sound. Murder, we kill it with the toughest sound. And we say murder, we kill it without sound. Repetition is our ammunition, go further. Be sure to see your sorrows drown. Murder, we kill it with the sweetest sound. Murder, we kill it with the toughest sound. And we say murder, we kill it without sound. Repetition is our ammunition, go further. Let the Nubian twist lay it down. Tap tap to you, your town. Hypnotized by the way, come me no trust them. So when you meet your senorita, you are custom. So when you see me come around, yeah, I'ma bust them, bust them. I said I'll dirty them. Hypnotized by the way, come me no trust them. So when you meet your senorita, you are custom. So when you see me come around, yeah, I'ma bust them, bust them. You have to stop chatting a murderer, because me know I've no time for you. Murderer, no legitimate walk. And does it hurt when you talk? Me like the rhythm make my spirit rise. Hypnotized by the wickle, all must find no legitimate walk. And does it hurt when you talk? Murder.
Okay, that was the amazing Nubian Twist with a song called Hypnotised. And they're playing at the Wardrobe on Saturday the 1st of February. And tickets are £12. Now let's listen to the final bit of our interview.
You're listening to the Dangerous D and Philandering Phil show on South Leeds Community Radio.
Okay, we're back once again with James Coley and another of my questions. In this case, it's who have you played with so far, and who would you recommend for our listeners?
Well, there's mainly the band that I'm supporting in March called City of Lights. I've played quite a few shows with them before, and obviously I'd highly recommend them for listeners.
I've seen them about. I'm sure we probably have played them before, but I should say an awkward situation where, because every week we're going through all the gig listings for the city, and everything gets a little bit jumbled in my mind a lot of the time. I think the guy who ran the gig guide said there'd been something like 4,870 separate acts on in Leeds. So that's over 1 year. So that's only the ones which are actually on the guide.
But so I've supported them a few times. There'll be Trees and Kings in May, which obviously I'm really, really looking forward to.
Well, I say, we're big fans of Trees and Kings on the show, and we opened up one of our previous shows with them, if I remember right. So, can't go wrong with them. No,
not at all. Who else is there? There's back in May last year, I supported another Leeds band called Solar Virtus, who were playing at the 360 Club on Friday the 24th. So it's next Friday, isn't it?
In fact, I think,
next Friday.
We might even have Solar Virtus on this very show. I've not, obviously we're recording this interview a couple of days before the main show's recorded, but I'm sure they'll probably be on. Yeah,
but yeah, there's them, and who else was there? A big one was a festival in Keighley last August, and I was an act on before John Gone, which was pretty damn cool to see him performing live, because he's
John
amazing.
Gone's always brilliant.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know how he can do some other things that he does with a guitar, but probably the best acoustic player I've ever seen. Which anyway, nice plug there for you, John, if you're listening. You send us a free album, sign it. Or free guitar lessons. That'd do nicely.
I could do a few of those.
Anyway, okay, so sounds like you've been pretty busy then, and got around, played with quite a few people, and what was the festival in Keighley called?
The Air Do. It's held every summer in the grounds of Cliff Castle in Keighley. I went to Keith last year. I'm a good friend of a gig promoter up there called Johnny Bedford, who's also a singer-songwriter. And
I think I've heard the name, but I don't know if I've heard his stuff yet. But I'll definitely look it up anyway.
His voice is quite similar to what's it called? Chad out of Nickelback. Is quite kind of
Chad Kroeger.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I won't try impersonating it. I was about to try it then. No, I'll resist the urge. I will not do Nickelback impressions on the show.
But so I went up there, and he was holding a competition, which I won, which was nice. And it got me the opportunity to play at the Air Do in front of, it was something like 3,000 people, which was a pretty damn good experience.
Not bad at all.
No, definitely not.
I think my own record is playing to about 30 people in a pub. So. Definitely a good one, that. Anyway, okay, I think we're about out of time now, so anyway, thanks for coming on the show. And
no problem whatsoever. Also, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll have the last tune now, which I think is a Stereophonics cover, and all good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers for coming on. It's been our pleasure.
Thank you. I'm James Coley, and this is a cover of Maybe Tomorrow by the Stereophonics.
oh, free. So maybe tomorrow I'll find my way home. So maybe tomorrow I'll find my way home. I look at a beautiful life, up in the upper side of down, up in the inside of out. We breathe, we breathe. I wanna breathe in an open mind, I wanna swim in the ocean, wanna take my time for me, oh me. So maybe tomorrow I'll find my way home. So maybe tomorrow I'll find my way home. So maybe tomorrow